What's up guys, this is OneUX1. I'm going to tell you how to work with your technical teams and all your internal stakeholders in the design team. This is a great graph that explains what it's like to work in the UX space with other professionals that have other skills and other needs in terms of the project. So number one, the customer explains to you what they want and they might visualize it completely different to how we do, and they want a 3-seater swing. But your project manager or project leader understood it to be logical and one seat, obviously for a swing. But the analyst was the guy who's going to write up the report on what the needs are. They may see it in a completely different way, as you can see here in number 3. Number 4 is how the programmer, the coder, in his own language or her own language, is going to see it in a completely different light, and it looks completely different. And then the testers might be testing the wrong thing. And then the consultant who works normally with the directors, C-suite, they may see it in a flowery, pretty way and sell it in terms of marketing. And how the project was documented, there was no documents. Number 7, like sometimes there is no documentation, so no one knows what was the scope of the project, and that's a terrible way of working. So really need to define and write things down, whether it's in a PowerPoint or an app like Confluence, to make sure everybody knows what the project was about. That way you don't get the number 1 to 6 where everyone's thinking of it in a different way and there's all this confusion, and that costs time and money. So in the real world, that can cost a lot of time and money, and you don't want to do that. So number 8 is operations installed in a completely different way. So once the operations had got hold of it, i.e. they put all the pieces together, it doesn't look like what the customer had explained in number 1. And the customer was in number 9 billed, so they were charged the full whack for this wonderful product, but it's not actually looking like that right now. And how was it supported once it was released and it go live? It wasn't supported, it's just like a chopped up tree, number 10. And number 11 is how they branded it. They branded it as a swing, as a beautiful swing, but that's not how it got built in the end. And what the customer really needed wasn't number 1, how they explained it. They actually needed a tire, a different kind of swing, a different kind of product. These things happen in UX design where you see things from a user point of view, developer sees it from a practical point of view of whether it's technically viable or feasible, can they actually code it. Then everyone else is looking at it from, say for example, marketing point of view or reporting back to the customer. Everybody wants to see it in their own light. So working in teams is the most important thing in UX design. If you can't work with people, you're not going to succeed in this. So you need to really be listening, all ears, about other people's needs, and it's a give and take. There's things that you want that they might not be able to give you, they might not be able to develop or build, but there's also things that they need, you're going to give, and you're going to ask them for things. You're going to get favors from them on things that you're really passionate about in the design that will solve user needs and user problems. So really want to look at it from the bigger picture of how to work with teams. That's the most important thing you're going to be asked in a UX design or UX research interview. How do you work with others? How do you practically do it? So this is a really good example of that, a really good image that you can use to understand how different people in your team will work. I hope that was useful, guys. Don't forget to download the free UX design and UX research guides below, and comment, ask any questions so I can create more videos for you to help you on your UX career path. Thank you, guys.